Guys, we are back for another Dokkan battle video. So we have had our most recent DOKKANFEST TUR drop. It is Turles. Turles is now a new DOKKANFEST TUR. Turles has had a previous DOKKANFEST, but I mean that was 5 years ago. So I don't really have a problem with Turles being the next DOKKANFEST. Let's just go ahead and jump in. We'll get to it. We'll start talking about these characters. So at number 10, we have Super 17. Super 17. This is a character that, in terms of like a ceiling, he can have a pretty good ceiling, but it's just like if we think of this character on their own team is really not that good. This character doesn't have big bad bosses to make, maybe like the coolers super effective on 17's team. You have all the restrictions all over the place. Very difficult to even transform, right? Very RNG dependent. Then you transform into Super 17, and it's just like you have insane restriction on top of stupid condition, on top of insane restriction, on top of stupid condition, all over this character. He's got a lot of power, but this is a character that was introduced into the game and was not really given a fair shot, right? Like, his banning unit sucks. The main EZA DOKKANFEST for a celebration does help him, but that character's not on this team, right? I mean, if you run them together on androids, they are effective, but I don't know. Overall, this character is not super special, considering this is they're 3 months. Like, they should not be 10 on this list. There's no way. All right, next we have Yamcha. I like Yamcha. I think Yamcha's a strong character, but he definitely would have helped by having a 70% chance to dodge rather than the 50% chance to dodge he has. In my experience, it makes a pretty significant difference. He does have that, super attack, dodge mechanic buildup right here, but it's just a separate proc rather than like actually a stacking buff, which does hurt this character quite a bit. I think if he even just was a 70% chance to dodge character, he'd be a lot better. But once that intro wears off, which, I mean, you've only got the intro for the first 2 turns, his stats are not really super spectacular. I don't know. Yamcha can be very explosive at the start of the fight. Yamcha, in my experience, is the best Link level character in the game. That is true. But good, but not really crazy compared to a lot of the other characters. Now, next is where we get to Turles. So we have Turles. I'm actually going to pull up Gamma 2. I'm going to pull up Kid Goku. And I'm going to pull up Gamma 1. I don't think that this class, like this order that I've had these characters in for, I mean, basically the entirety that they've been out, I see no reason to change sort of the status quo of what we've got going on right here. Now, Turles. Turles is actually very good, right? Very strong. He is an attack stacking character with a purpose. It pisses me off when characters like, Super 17 stacks attack for no reason, right? It's like, okay, he does a modicum of extra damage, whatever. Turles is stacking attack so that his active hits really goddamn hard. And guess what? Turles' active hits really goddamn hard because he stacks attacks. That's good. He does have the HP regen. I found it to be pretty effective because you are running some characters like Amand and Raisin, who are able to take these big hits, and then Turles can heal it back up. The main problem with Turles that I have is this. I think Turles is fine, but he's intended to have this as well. I mean, if Turles had this ability, he'd be in front of Gamma 2. Above Kid Goku or Gamma 1, though, it's tough. Because, like, Gamma 1, to me, and many of the top 4 characters, are characters that are capable of handling the big boss super attacks. At this point, it's time to end the coping when characters can't tank these big boss attacks. Because the Metal Cooler Core did not come out last month. He didn't come out 6 months ago. That fucker came out, like, 9 months ago, right? Like, Red Zone Broly is, like, 15, 16 months old. Like, these bosses are not new. So it's like, I would like these characters to be able to easily and effortlessly be able to survive the attacks. They don't have to take double digits, but I need them living at this point. Turles, depending upon how wank the situation, how good your luck is, he could survive some of these big boss super attacks. A lot of it depends on his ability to generate a lot of power from his links. Big Bad Boss is 25% defense. Thirst for Conquest, 15% defense. Destroy the Universe, 15% defense. So it's like, Turles can do a lot. But, I mean, him just doing, oh my god, damage, awesome. But he's not supporting, right? Almost ever. Guess what? If he... I mean, this character is designed around him having this, but, like, you don't really ever have it. You can, by the way, I've had it happen several times where turn 1, I can't even super attack with this guy. Because key is a huge issue for him until he super attacks a couple times to build this up, right? So, like, there are flaws here with this character. Like, he was intended to have his intro up, which you're not able to. And, I mean, just him having... People will see him have 800k defense at the start of the turn, and they go, oh my god, wow! But, I mean, this is not a free-to-play character, man. It's not a sub-EZA. Right? This is Big Daddy Dick DOKKANFEST summonable unit. These big DOKKANFEST and these, LRs, like, you have to hold them to a certain standard. We want these characters need to be the best, right? Again, they're the characters that Dokkan is telling you, hey, Jimmy, pull up that credit card right now. Let's go. You want me? Come get me. So I need a little bit better. I mean, Turles sliding in an 8 right here, that's not good enough. Day 1, 8? Like, come on. We could do better than that. And it's like, maybe you could argue him in front of Gamma 2. In my experience, it does seem like Turles and Gamma 2, like, they could do a lot of damage like that. The thing is that Turles, he becomes super effective against all types after he does his 6th attack. Whereas, where is Gamma 2's crit right here? So his crit, I mean, I guess Turles's does become guaranteed, but it's pretty fast where Gamma 2 is doing a lot of attacks, and that crit rate is pretty nasty. I feel like Gamma 2, it's just a little bit more smooth with, like, the damage that he's doing. I feel like Turles is a little tankier than Gamma 2, but... I don't know that it matters too much. I guess Turles is definitely more likely to live some of the big boss super attacks, but Gamma 2 is also always supporting, and Gamma 2 has the nullification, right? I am thinking in my head of Gamma 2 next to Gamma 1. I see no reason to change this up. I don't really want to put Turles in front of Gamma 2. This is close, though. I wouldn't put Turles in front of Kid Goku. I mean, Kid Goku's gotten buffed so much. I mean, he's partners with so many legendary characters at this point. He works so well with the Rainbow Orb changing and the support and everything. Kid Goku, he can get cream pied by these big boss super attacks as well, though. Whereas Gamma 1 is tanking them all. And that's why I kind of like Gamma 1. All of these characters right here, it's like Gamma 1 is the strongest defensively among all of them, easily. Super 17... if you jump through 50 hoops, can be really good defensively, but it's like, whereas Gamma 1 just kind of coming out and he's that strong defensively. Again, Super 17, you need 50 things to go perfectly your way, and he could be a tank, right? Like, it's like, I'm good. I'd rather just turn 1, Gamma 1 being God. That would make me feel a little bit better. Again, moving Turles above, I could put Turles as 7, but beyond that, no, I don't feel comfortable putting Turles above Kid Goku. I don't at all. All right, so we have that. So next we have Kale. Kale has just become like, I mean, she's just not a hype character. I don't think Kale is a bad choice for a Dokkan Fest. I don't think Dokkan erred by giving her one or anything like that. She's just a forgettable character, right? Like, it's just the way it's gonna be. They didn't give Kale quite enough help. Typically, these characters who don't feel like they have enough help, it's because their banner units were ass, right? That's a major issue. Turles, to me, does feel like he got enough help. Both of his banner units are good, and the sub-EZA Great Ape Turles is really good. So, like, Turles comes into the game in actually a pretty good situation. That's why, like, I do feel like people probably reacted way too negatively to Gohan and Goten's EZA being announced, but even still, I would say that they should have done LR Turles to maximize the value of his team right now rather than later. But Turles did get a ton of help, whereas Kale did not. Kale and Khalifa got their easy A, but they're not. The thing is, this Kale, once you transform into Super Saiyan 2 Kale on turn 4, I mean, it's over. This Kale is like probably my personal favorite TUR. Like, I'm like Kale right here. I'm liking her over Piccolo Jr. I'm probably liking her over God Goku. All these guys. I love this Kale. I mean, I guess revive 23rd World Tournament Goku, right? It becomes pretty nasty. But this Kale is just so silly. Like, she's just silly. This is a silly Billy right here. It's absolutely insane. She has the stacking crit. She's just, dude, this character is so busted. I see people putting her at like 8 on these lists and stuff like that, and it's like, oh my god, have you ever used her, dude? Like, come on. Dude, Kale is so busted. Her one weakness is that in base, she has to super first for her defense. After she gets her supers off, she's pretty good defensively. And this is where what she needs is a Universe 6 character, turn 1, slot 1 is what she needs. All of the Universe 6 characters are exactly the same, which is that they suck on turn 1 and they're gods on turn 6, right? Like, essentially, right? Like, that's sort of how all these Universe 6 girls are structured to work, is that they all build up, which emulates what they did in the show, sure. But, you know, we need a slot 1, turn 1 character to protect Kale until she could transform into Super Saiyan 2. I really like Kale, though. Kale is strong. Again, I don't have a problem with her release or anything like that. You know, it's like we save our slander for what was Dokkan thinking with a release for Super Boo. Super Boo is the character, not Kale. Next, we have 23rd World Tournament Goku. I was calling it out, right? Like, I was saying, all right, people are in the honeymoon phase with this character right now. They're gonna come to find that this guy does have a weakness, and sure enough, it did happen. But I do feel like, just from me observing, people went way too far in the other direction. I would not put this guy at number 1, but I mean, I love Kale, and I can't even put Kale above this Goku. Like, no way. I mean, nothing changes the fact that when this guy revives, I mean, it's just like, you know, I pointed this out, but on the Thieving 6 wiki right here, right, I love the way, you know, kind of like units' passives and stuff like that are displayed. Is there a stronger bullet point than this right here? This has to be the single strongest one in the game. Like, it's just the stats, the additional super guarding, it's just so ludicrous. The problem with this guy is it's very tough to do his standby. This condition is really difficult to get. It is really hard to get this to actually come out, this standby, right? Where he can revive and stuff like that. And then after turn 1, right, you're just every single turn, 50% chance that this dude is going to be a fraud. Where is it? Bro, these passives get so long and complex. I can't even find it. Here it is. This. High chance to guard is just the bane of my existence. I don't have a problem with characters having this, but it's time that we give them the ability to see if the guard is up or not. That's what we need. I like this Goku a lot, but I do have God Goku in front of him, and we can grab Piccolo Jr. as well. I just feel like, whereas Goku, 23rd World Tournament Goku, has higher heights than God Goku, I'm sorry, man. I never really feel scared with God Goku. I know you need 6 orbs for him to be guarding, which is a lot, right? That's not an insignificant number, but I don't know. It just doesn't really feel that tough. And even if you can't get the 6, even if you get 3, he still has a 60% chance to dodge, which is still really good. I like this God Goku character quite a bit. The stacking, the guarding, the dodging, the additional supers, like, he just does so much. I mean, not only is he stacking defense, but he's also stacking attack, so that his guaranteed crit active skill hits like a bomb. This guy has just this incredible link set, right? Shocking speed, prepare for battle over in a flash. Like, it's so easy to run him in so many teams. This guy has, one of the strongest leader skills. To me, what I value oftentimes is consistency. I feel like my thoughts on a lot of these characters oftentimes would reflect that. Like, consistency usually is what I prefer. A God Goku to me, I just feel more comfortable. Like, I'm going to more consistently win a lot of times, in a variety of situations with him, maybe over this Goku. It's this Goku, the amount of times this Goku's just been actually one shot and blown off the field for me. Like, I have people accusing me of sabotaging him, right? Of saying, oh my God, he's intentionally doing it to make him look bad. No, it's just, he has a weakness. I wouldn't really consider it a flaw, though, because I feel like this guy has a great design. I feel like he's designed really well. He just has a weakness. Compared to Super 17, I think the design is shit. And I have no idea what they were thinking or what they were going for. Goku, I do not feel that way about Goku. They balanced Goku, because if he revives, it's over with Goku, right? Like, he's crushing everything. And then Piccolo is just Piccolo is just a cheat code, right? I mean, he should be the best World Tournament unit. We can't prove that until a World Tournament actually happens, of course, but he should be the best World Tournament unit. His active skill AoE should just one-shot the whole enemy field every single time with active skill skip. Should be insane. He can do a giant transformation as well right here when you fall below 60% HP. Not consistent, but not the toughest condition ever. You guys know how giant forms work. If you have a multiple turn giant form, you will cancel enemy boss super attacks and AoE attacks and stuff like that. It is not a glitch. It is not going to be patched out. Unfortunately, there's a lot of deniers, but when evaluating characters at this point, if they have a giant form like this, that matters for how good the character is. I already have had, sub-easy Great Ape Turles cook for me with his giant form. I'm sorry. This matters. It does. Characters having shit like this really matters. Still, look at it. Super effective against all types. High chance to crit. He gets the key. Like, just really strong. He could do tons of super attacks. He has a lot of variety to what you could do with his kit. Putting him in slot 1, putting him in slot 2. You just have so many different options on the table. Now, this character, you can get really bad luck with him, just like you can with Goku, right? Goku could just decide not to guard. With Piccolo, it's you do one super attack, and that's that. This Piccolo is going to be at his best when he's getting you multiple super attacks. And once you do this right here, once you're really building up his passive with this, his stats they just get to such a ridiculous degree. It just becomes so stupid, like the numbers that this Piccolo is putting up. Just a really strong character. I feel like my type of character to put number 1 would be God Goku, but I just can't. I don't know. I just feel like this guy's too overwhelming. And the active skill utility, right? It's an attack break and an AoE, and then you got the giant form with all the damage it could output, and canceling boss abilities. I just think it's too good. I can't discount it. So if we go by tiers, I do this. I think maybe I did jump the gun. So if we look at last month, I had Piccolo and Goku in a tier themselves. I think I walk back on that. I would bring Kale and God Goku up there with them, and then sort of separate the tiers like that. I feel better, more so than Piccolo and Goku being up here by themselves. I just bring God Goku and Kale up there with them, I think. And this is kind of how we have this. Turles in here. Again, I think you could put Turles in front of Gamma 2. They have some similarities, but Gamma 2 is always supporting, whereas Turles is almost never supporting, right? Kid Goku, of course, is definitely very good. I wouldn't put Turles above Kid Goku. Yamcha and Super 17, they feel quite a bit weaker than like the Turles level to me. Like, I feel very comfortable putting Turles above Yamcha. So yeah, this is I feel good about this. So the only real difference, I guess, is I just decided to slide God Goku in front of Goku. Right, the rest of it is pretty much the same. So there we go. Let me know what you guys think of the top 10 TURs. Turles is good, but 8 on this list? No. This guy, at bare minimum, I can't, he should have been at least 5. I think, the Gammas are super strong, super tight. Kid Goku's great. But those trio of characters, they came out in October. It's June. It's June. Like I can't have characters coming out worse than the Gammas anymore, man. Like we can't. Like they've been around for too long. It's not, Yamcha's worse than the Gammas, stuff like that. It's like, yeah, whatever, right? Super 17's worse than the Gammas. It's not the end of the world. But like now, it's like Turles. I needed Turles to have been a little bit better. Like Turles is good, but he's not quite good enough. So let me know what you guys think, and I'll catch you guys next time.